What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time watching, my name's Kyle and this is my 2023 Interlagos Blue G80 M3. So if you saw the thumbnail, I'm doing this video because the car is rubbing on the front and it's not lowered yet. So for those of you that have watched my previous videos, I do have 12.5 millimeter spacers on the front, 15s on the rear, and have had no issues up until this point with rubbing. I've seen a lot of videos, watched a lot of things on the forums, and anything past 12 millimeters tends to rub. Up to 12, there shouldn't be any issues. And that's been the case up until now. So I actually installed a part recently, and if you missed that video, I'll throw it up right here. But it actually caused the car to rub, and it has nothing to do with the suspension. So that mod is actually the Turner skid plate from Turner Motorsports, and I will start by saying this has nothing to do with the skid plate. There's nothing wrong with that skid plate. I absolutely love it. It just has to do with how little clearance is in the front wheel wells or fender liners of these new G80 platform cars. It doesn't give much room. So if you don't know where the issue is at, because originally I didn't know what the issue was, majority of these cars are having issues, and I can show you. Majority of the cars are having issues right behind here. You may not be able to see it, but there are little fins, cooling fins, and what that does is it allows air to pass through and cool the tire and brakes more efficiently. Problem is the fins are angled down at a slant, and where it lies is if the left, this is the driver's side tire, if this wheel turns all the way to the right, the outside of this wheel would catch the fins. Same thing for the right side. If the car turns all the way to the left, then the right side tire, the outside of the tire would catch the fins. That's where the issue lies. So if the car is turned all the way, cranked at 100%, the outside of the tire is gonna touch the fins. Now completely stock, it doesn't, but you have, about, I don't know, 5 or 6 millimeters of space. So when I added the spacer, 12.5 mil spacer, so it kicks the tire out. So when the car is all the way in, it kicks it a little bit more towards that, which wasn't an issue. But the issue is with the skid plate is that the way it mounts is the fender well mounts behind the skid plate, and because it's an 8 gauge 5052 aluminum, it adds about that much space. So the actual skid plate mounts behind the plastic liner, and when the liner went to go behind it, it kicked it out just enough to where now when these turn over 85%, I'm getting some pretty bad rubbing. So it really doesn't take much, and I wasn't expecting that to be the case. I've not heard of anyone having this issue before, but for those of you that are looking to do a progression of suspension or anything else to your car, keep that in mind, that anything done in front of the fender liner, if it adds even a few millimeters of space with a spacer, 12 or more millimeters, and you don't want to lower your car, you're probably still going to have rubbing issues, which is pretty interesting. So I do have suspension on the way. Most of you know that who have watched my previous videos. It should be here next week at the time of filming this video. This is early January of 24. So suspension will be here. That's going to be on. And I also have a new product that just released that is going to help me solve the issue of the rubbing once and for all. There's been a lot of I don't know, people making up their own things on how to fix that. And I don't want to do anything that's not going to look good or kind of have more functionality, because I like to keep functionality of the car. RKP does make a set sold by IND for about $900, and I was close to pulling the trigger on that. It was kind of on my my radar of getting that because there's an OEM replacement of the OEM liner core from BMW, so it would fit perfectly. But a new part just released, and I'll be doing an install video on that soon. Once the suspension comes in next week, I'm gonna do an install on that mod, and that should fix the problem once and for all. And I think it's gonna be a pretty big win in the community because it's a lot lower priced and it seems pretty effective. So I'm gonna do that and hopefully get a good install video for you guys who may wanna do it yourself. But other than that, there's been no issues. Stock height with the car right now, there's been no other issues besides just that little bit of rub just from adding the skid plate, which I was not expecting that. But other than that, the car's amazing. It had no issues at all. So More to come. Suspension's coming soon. That'll be a video. Of course, exhaust is on the way too. That should be here next week. And then I've got the modification to the core liner that should solve the problem. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.